Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Right Fit Marriage Show, your one stop for tips to help you to succeed in your marriage. While I wait for some people to join, I'm going to share this with other people. Ella, good evening. How are you? Thank you for joining the show. Please invite your friends to join the show. Invite your friends to join the show. And as is our practice, I'm going to wait for one or two more people to join the show before I start off. While I wait for more people to join the show, today's topic is a really interesting topic. Kenny, welcome. Thank you for joining the show as well. So we wait for one more person. Once we're three listening into the show, we will start. How was your day, Kenny and Ella? I hope you had a lovely day today at work or at your business, whatever it is that you did today. Ella, thank you. My day went very well. My day went very well. Okay, I think we'll just take off. Let's honor those of you who came in early. Today, I'm going to share with you 10 questions that you can ask your spouse, that is your husband or your wife, that will deepen your connection with them. Today is the first day of February. February is a special month for me. I will not say today why it is a special month. Maybe on the next edition, I will say it. But February is a month that many people refer to as the month of love. About 2 weeks from today, it will be Valentine's Day. So I'm sure if you go into some shops, you're already seeing advertisements that are urging you to buy one gift item or the other for your husband or your wife. The idea of Valentine's celebration is that one way to show one way to show love to your spouse is to buy them gifts. And okay, perhaps giving gifts is good. It's a nice way to express affection to your spouse. But a lot of times the gifts that you give at Valentine is not appreciated by your spouse because there is no meaningful connection between you and your spouse. So, it's okay to go to the stores, buy a card, buy a rose, buy a tie, buy something for your spouse and then give it to them on Valentine's Day. But the thing is that if things are not going on well between you and your partner, that gift will not mean anything. And sometimes we feel like we know our partners. At other times, it will look as if, do I really know this person? Anthony and Alfred, thank you for joining the show. Welcome. So, one way that you can connect meaningfully with your spouse or with your husband, with your wife, is to make some effort to spend some time together. And when you are spending that time together, not just sitting together, but just playfully asking each other questions, as you ask the questions and they answer, deep, meaningful questions that go beyond how was your day, what do you want to eat, did you go to this place, how about the money you said you will give me. Those are surface questions, but the questions I'm talking about are questions that are meaningful. Questions that will, when your partner, your husband or your wife answers them, it's going to help you to know them a little bit better than you did before. And if you're somebody who asks your partner those type of questions, you're going to discover new and interesting things about each other. every time you ask the kind of questions I'm going to share with you today, and your partner answers it, you will know more about them than you knew before. Now, there is a man who has done a lot of work about relationship, research, all kinds of things. For some of his researches, he has interviewed over 3,000 couples. The man's name is John Gottman. He has an institute of research that is named after him, the Gottman Institute. He's written many books. In one of his books, titled The 7 Principles of Making Marriage Work, he said that the first principle for making a marriage to work is enhancing your love maps. That is, if the first thing when you are thinking, how will I make my marriage work? How will I make my marriage work? The first thing that you should think about is improving your love map. You know, a map is something that shows you the territory. So if you want to travel somewhere and you have a good map, the more detailed the map is, the easier your journey will be. So John Gottman says that there is something that is called a love map. And I'm going to tell you what a love map is. A love map is just, a representation of the relevant information that you have about your wife and your husband. According to John Gottman, the more that you know about your husband or your wife, the more you know about what makes them tick, the more you know what is important to them and what they don't like, what they like, the more you know what they like to do and what they don't like to do, the more equipped you will be to cope with any stress in your marriage. So the love map it's not anything exotic. It's just that they had to call it a name. But the love map is just representing how much do you know about your partner. That's what a love map is. So John Gottman says that the more detailed, the more you know about your partner, the more that you will be equipped to live with them happily and without any problem. Let's just use a playful one. I mean, if you already know that your husband does not like okra, it's easy, because then when you go to the market, you won't buy okra for him. So chances that he will be unhappy about the soup that you cook is very slim. In the same way, if you already know that your wife does not like weave-on, you will not go to the market and buy weave-on for her, because she will not use it, and then it will become a misunderstanding of, I bought you a gift, you didn't use it. So that's what a love map is. And when you have information about your partner, the knowledge is powerful, because that knowledge helps you to live well with them. And when you look at many challenges that people have in their relationships, it is not knowing enough about your partner that creates that problem. Not knowing them enough, that's what creates it. So asking the right questions will give you knowledge of your spouse. And the more that you know about your spouse, the more meaningful the connection between you and them will be, and the more understanding there will be. So no matter how long you and your husband or wife have been living together, there is always something new to learn about them. There is always something new to learn about them. Why is there always something new? You see, human beings are complex. The world changes every day. Your husband or wife goes out today, has a new experience, is exposed to something new. So really and truly, every day we are evolving. So you cannot say, oh, I already asked my husband all the questions and I know him well. And your husband too cannot say, oh, there is nothing more for me to know. Because the day you say to yourself that I already know everything about my husband or my wife, that's the finish, then there will be trouble between you and them. So today I'm going to share with you 10 questions that you can ask your partner during the time that you spend together. when you ask them this question, it's not interview type. Oh yeah, sit down, I have questions I want to ask you. No. But maybe when you folks are sitting together and relaxing, or maybe when when you are in a fun mood or a relaxed mood, you can just say, oh, CEO, I'm going to ask you this question, so I want you to just answer them and play with me. It's not anything, it's not formal, it's not anything that they're going to be, what's this inquisition about? No, it's just something that you do in a fun environment. And you can even first of all give them the questions and say they should ask you the questions first, and then you will answer the questions. So that will lay the foundation, so that when they ask you those questions and you have answered, then you can then say, okay, it's your turn, let me ask you too, and you answer now. But the goal of it is for you to know more about each other. So here are the questions that I'm going to suggest. These suggestions I'm giving you is just to give you an idea of the kind of questions that you can ask to have these conversations that will help you to know your spouse more and to have more meaningful conversations. Bimbo, I see that you've joined us, and Quest, welcome to the show. So here are the questions. Number 1, what is one experience that you never want to go through again? What is one experience that you never want to go through again? If your husband or your wife has had an experience that they never want to go through again, when they share it with you, it means that they're telling you something that is important to them. It gives you an idea of something that they never want to experience again, and that knowledge will guide you in the way that you relate to them. If you explore further after they have answered you and told you that, what happened? Why did you feel that way? It will help you to have a meaningful conversation, show concern, and then know more about them. So that's the first question. What is one experience that you never want to go through again? Another question is, what is one thing that you always procrastinate about? Procrastination is something, I'm supposed to do something, I delay. I will do it again tomorrow. Maybe I will do it the day after tomorrow, and you just leave it off. It's likely that anything that your husband or wife is procrastinating about is already irritating you. It's already making you angry. But when you ask them, what is one thing that you always procrastinate about, and they tell you, then you can follow up, you can make the conversation go further and say, is there any reason why you procrastinate about it? And when you follow this line of thought in a fun manner, you will discover about them. It may be that they're afraid. It may be something that they don't like to do. But whatever it is, you are gathering information from them without you saying, see what you have done again. It's a fun way of finding out information. Another question that you can ask, question number 3, is there anything you consider absolutely unforgivable? Is there anything you consider absolutely unforgivable? Because you grew up in a different place from your husband or wife, because your experience in life before you married them is different from your own husband or your wife's own, it's possible that there are things that you don't think are important, and your husband feels that they're very important, and that if you do them, he will be offended. And you don't even know. But when you ask a question like this and you say, you people are playing, and you say, oh yeah, my dear, tell me, is there anything that if anybody does it for you, you will find it difficult to forgive them? And then they share it with you. That's expo. You are getting to know them. You can then ask further, why is it unforgivable? Anybody can make mistake. They will tell you in a situation when two of you are relaxed. And you will know them more. So if it is that important to them, it means that you have an idea of what to avoid. Question 4 is this. In your life, what has been the biggest blessing in disguise? In your life, What has been the biggest blessing in disguise? You see, I'm sure you look at these questions. Are they the kind of things that we would ordinarily discuss with our husbands or wife? No. But you see, this kind of questions, asking questions in this way, is going beyond the surface. Is helping your spouse to think about things that they would ordinarily maybe not share with you. Not because they want to hide it from you, but because our mind never goes to such things. I mean, who is going to wake up and say, my dear, do you know this is the something that has been the biggest blessing in disguise for me? It's unlikely. But if you intentionally ask meaningful questions like this, especially when you people are in a relaxed mood, you will learn a lot about your partner and you will become more connected to them. So let me go on. Question number 5. What is one behavior you will never tolerate? What is one behavior you will never tolerate? Question number 6. If you would change anything about the way that you were raised, what would it be? Note that as you are asking these questions, it's not an attack, so they won't feel that they need to defend themselves. It's just questions that you can ask easily in conversation. And as I said, if you are asking it when two of you are relaxed together, you will get a lot of information, from them easily. Expo that will help you to know them better and that will help you to connect even more with them. If you're just joining us, this is the Right Fit Marriage Show, your one-stop for tips to help you to succeed in marriage. I'm going to ask you, if you're truly enjoying what I'm talking about and you're learning a lot, please share this post with your friends so that they also too can listen to the rest of the broadcast, or they will listen to the replay when the broadcast is over. The 7th question that you can ask your partner, your husband, or your wife is ask them to name 3 things that you and them have in common. Ask them to name 3 things that you and them have in common. When they name those things, it will give you an idea of what they like and which you like, so you will see what you and them have in common. Not that you are guessing, but now they are providing you with information. Question number 8 is this. What would your perfect day look like? What would your perfect day look like? What time would you like to wake up? What would you like to do when you wake up? Who will you like to see first when you wake up? What would you like to accomplish on your, if for your day to be perfect, what is it that you would say is what has happened? Again, when they talk to you, when they tell you what their perfect day is like, you begin to have some idea of how you should plan their day. Hello, Fina. Thank you for joining the show. And Aderiola, thank you as well for joining the show. So you see, asking this kind of questions in a playful mood, when you both are relaxed, you are getting a lot of information from your husband, from your wife. You are connecting with them on a deeper level. Question number 9. What do you value most in friendship? And question number 10. What is the best way to end a long day? Now, these questions I've given you, I'm going to go quickly over them again. When you listen to those questions, you yourself can craft other questions that are like them. Remember what I said in the beginning? A time when both of you are relaxed, a time when you are in a good mood and your husband and wife is in a good mood, maybe you people are playing together, you can ask this type of meaningful questions. It will give you expo about your partner, and then it will help you to connect meaningfully with them. I'll go quickly over the questions again. Number 1, what is one experience that you never want to go through again? Question 2, what is one thing that you always procrastinate about? Question 3, Is there anything that you consider absolutely unforgivable? Number 4, in your life, what has been the biggest blessing in disguise? Number 5, what is one behavior that you will never tolerate? Number 6, if you would change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be? Number 7, name 3 things that you and me have in common. Question 8, what would your perfect day look like? Question 9, what do you value most in friendship? And question 10, what is the best way to end a long day? Fina, you say, what if what they want hinders you from doing what you want? Well, number 1, knowing what they want is a beginning. Now, this conversation is not this is my question, answer it, and then I go. No. It is a question that, is a question that you ask, and when they answer it, you ask further questions so that you begin to understand why they want what they want. Many times, when what you want is different from what your spouse wants, by the time 2 of you get into intimate, when you begin to look behind the scene, usually you are able to come to a common ground. Exactly, a playful question. So it's fact-finding, information gathering, connection building, meaningful connection. That's what you're doing when you are asking those questions. When you get this question, when you ask those questions and your spouse responds, and remember I said the way to start perhaps is to even say your spouse should ask you those questions first. So when your spouse asks you the question and you answer, you have created an environment in which they too will be willing to respond to you. So getting to know your partner is about knowing who they are, what they value, what their personality traits are, how they feel about things, what they like and enjoy. And so the more that you do this, the more that, that's why I said it's not a formal, oh yeah, sit down, I want to interview you. No, it's, it's something that every time that there is an opportune moment, every time that there is a time that both of you are relaxed and comfortable, you can just ask a couple of these questions and let it generate conversation between you and your spouse. Yes, Fina, please give it a go. I would definitely want to know how it went, when you start. So here is my suggestion. At the beginning, I reminded you that Valentine is in the air and that very soon people will be encouraging you to buy one gift or the other. Here is my suggestion for you, for the Valentine celebration. Write these questions and fold them up and package them in a beautiful gift box. Get them ready for Valentine's Day. As part of your Valentine celebration, bring out this beautifully packaged box. Get some nice refreshment for you and your spouse to take. Sit together, and as you are enjoying the refreshment, the snacks or the drinks, the wine, whatever it is you folks are going to enjoy together, ask your spouse to open the gift box. Yes, Fina, if you make the questions too formal, all their defenses will come up and you won't get the effect that you want at all. So for this, your Valentine's celebration that I'm suggesting to you, so have the box, and then playfully say to your spouse, let's play a game. Both me and you, we'll pick a question from here, and whoever picks whatever question you pick, you answer. So it becomes like a game. It becomes something that both of you are doing and you're enjoying. So as you ask those questions, as he asks you or she asks you, you answer, and then you also ask them their own. And please, gentlemen in the house, this is not for the ladies as well. I assure you, if you try this with your wife for Valentine, I'm very, very certain that, she's going to be really pleased with you. So I promise you, if you try this Valentine suggestion, it's definitely going to add some excitement to your Valentine celebration, and it will have the additional benefit that you and your husband or you and your wife, you will learn more about yourself and you will connect more meaningfully. And then those gifts that you have gone and spent money to buy, they will be more valued. I hope you've enjoyed today's show. I'm really looking forward to you implementing my suggestion and then letting me know. You can connect with me, you can send me how things worked out between you and your partner, either by Facebook Messenger, or my email is in the post above. So I'm really looking forward. Next week, I'm going to also come up again and give you additional suggestions about how you can make your Valentine celebration this year meaningful and exciting. To round up today's broadcast, here is a quote from John Gottman. Emotionally intelligent couples are intimately familiar with each other's world. Emotionally intelligent couples, they are intimately familiar with each other's world. Before I go today, if you really find these suggestions exciting, please share this broadcast with your friends. Don't just share it, encourage them to listen to it. I want us all to have a truly exciting, meaningful Valentine celebration this year. And so, that's it for today's show. Next week, Thursday again at 7 p.m., the Right Fit Marriage Show, your one-stop for tips for success in your marriage, will be here with you again. Until then, have a restful evening. Bye.